How many gods do the Hindus have?
That's a very tricky one. Sometimes you get mentioned 330 million gods. So if you like, that's the answer.
330 million. It is dedicated to the god Shiva.
It's rather difficult to recall how I used to feed as a boy. But I think it was one of getting carried away on huge big waves of something or the other. You got there, and here were crowds of priests and other people. And suddenly, at some precise second, just waiting for his son to graduate from college. Oh, this is the well, get married, yes? This is the old well. That used to be the one in...
That's been superseded now.
Yes. Now you simply are.
The Thakura household is a series of rooms round an enclosed courtyard. His mother, brother, sister-in-law, 2 nephews and 3 nieces live in one family house. Shivesh himself is a younger son. When he was 7, his father died of snake bite. His elder brother sent him to university. Now Shivesh is professor and head of the Department of Philosophy in the University of Surrey, England. Across the road lives his aunt. Nearby live 4 uncles.
Well, I've got as many uncles as you like. The whole
second or minute I couldn't understand. Things went bang. And then once the bang started, it was such a huge big bang that you got carried away with it. And things started happening all over you, in your bones, in your marrow, in everything.
What is down in that darkness? These men are what's usually called in the West high caste Hindus, Brahmins. By that I don't mean rich or powerful, I mean...
if you, by hard times, you mean hard enlightenment. And of course, also I think expectation of great things happening by way of reward. Because as you know, Saraswati is the goddess of learning. And like the child I was, I believed that if I took a couple of my books and put it in front of the image, then somehow after the festival, after the puja, once I brought those books back home, how does it just have to leaf through the books and I'll get the contents of the whole thing in my mind straight away.
It works too, doesn't it?
I don't know whether that is what works, but well, something seems to have worked.
We're not now talking about idolatry, are we? We're talking about looking through the piece of simple clay to a more abstract, ungraspable thing.
Yes. You are looking considerably beyond the piece of clay. The piece of clay is a symbol. And you invoke the symbol in order to address and communicate with something that symbol represents, which is divinity.
I can understand that you, with your mind and training, could have that thought. I wonder how generally it's shared by very simple, devout people, or do they really superstitiously think that that goddess, that piece of clay, is something more than clay?
Yes. Yes, I can see why you asked this question, because it sounds like a very sophisticated point to grasp. I think I would be very surprised if you ran into many people who believed that literally that clay was the goddess. Because they are perfectly aware, for instance, that a new clay image is bought every year and installed in this place, and then it's thrown away. So it's not clay you're worshipping, it's what the clay represents.
So you're brought up to be used to disposable gods?
Disposable clay, disposable stone, disposable iron, whatever material you use. But what these bits of material represent, that's not disposable, and that's not something you can grasp or see or feel or touch.